All right, this is the Dayton Historical Commission meeting at Old Town Hall, April 9th, 2024. Calling the meeting to order at
6:08.
Okay, thank you. The listing of matters are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for the discussion to the extent permitted by law. This meeting is being recorded and will be shown later on the Dayton YouTube channel. Make sure everyone's here. Pat Gales, chair.
Heidi Allen. Dr. Duffin, vice chair.
Sharon Costa.
That kind.
And we have Paul Pacheco as a guest tonight. So can we stand for allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Entertain the motion to take some items out of order. We can talk about under number 6, review, discuss, and act on the historical marker program. If we can take that first, please.
I'll make a motion to take the item 6.3 out of order to review, discuss, and act the historical marker program.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And that's it. All right, so welcome, Paul.
Thank you. I've got a bunch of questions.
Okay.
We need to come up with specifications. What is this? What's the purpose of this?
Okay,
What's, I know the purpose. I would say the purpose, the longevity, style of it, the size of it. My personal opinion, these that I've seen in the past will route it out. And which might be a little bit more expensive to have them routed out, but if it's routed out, later on, people can touch them up very easily. You know what I mean? They can just. If you go with an automotive finish like this here, looks clear, this is going to give you the longest longevity. Vinyl, depending on how the sun's hitting every day. If you have a sign that there's a sun's hitting it come up every day, you'll see it peel before the other side. How long do you want these to last?
Well, this was hanging on, I hang this sign as on my house September 2021. It hasn't changed.
They haven't changed.
Yes,
But you just face the sun at all, or you get
Everything's
everything.
on direct, all the elements. When
It's not covering anything, so that's
everything, yeah.
So this probably has a little fish. This probably would.
no, that one has nothing to do with
No, because that one I think would
Because
be too.
it. It's basically stickers.
Yeah.
well, this one seems to be too. It's just that they cleared over it.
Right.
Which if I was gonna do it, I'd do it in reverse so that you put the spray mask down, you paint those letters in, then take your vinyl off, and then put your clear coat over it. So when you end up with no vinyl, you end up with just all paint. Because I like the idea of being routed. One concern is, even, no matter how you do it, with cut vinyl, unless we got a laser, which is possible to have a laser gun, this is very small lettering. And when you put it through a vinyl cutter, it'll cut every little piece, and then after you get it out, if it did a good job, you go in there and kind of pick that out, and it flips and flops over there.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah,
And then,
that's it.
yeah. So when you get this small, it really kind of should printed, but printing's not gonna last. So does this have to be here? Does this have to be so small? I mean, if the sign is on house at night, and people know it's at night. This,
Not necessarily, somebody can steal it.
well, then,
Nobody would know that, oh, this is sold in Dayton, I don't, this doesn't mean Dayton.
I mean, like the ones that I'm pretty sure the ones that I've seen in Warren, they have Warren Historical Commission on them, but they don't have Warren Bryan also on it. So like on the bottom it says Dayton Historical Commission, that's the same thing right there.
Because that's-
how big is letter?
on the ones from Warren.
They're fairly small in Warren.
I would say probably about that size.
Yeah,
The whole plaque,
Yeah.
lettering.
yeah. You have the picture that you got from Westport now?
That's what I'm looking
What do you think, so if we were gonna do something like that size, right now it's like $126, would that be pretty comparable to what you could do for it?
Yeah, I'm sure that I could.
Mhm,
That's actually a lot of money for a sign like this, but
mhm,
it's also a lot of work.
mhm,
You know, I could do a bigger sign, a lot less work.
mhm.
If I can buy these blanks, it'd be one thing. If not, then I gotta cut out ovals, which a lot harder than cutting out a square or a circle. Well, my thought was to come here tonight and get the information you need. I have somebody that I've met, haven't done business with him yet, but he's Seccong and he has a computerized router.
Mhm.
So he could draw out the names. He could write out the end, you could take a blank piece of wood and line up and cut several of them at one time versus do one at a time. And then they're gonna be painted. And then, what about the other ones that are in town now? 'Cause
The ones that we've put up are all like Raffus and Eugene,
Yeah.
and they're all like that one. And what happened is that vendor, what was it, Peach?
Peach signs like I think, well, he became very sick, so he couldn't work anymore, so I think he closed business.
Yeah,
local?
No. Winchester? Oh,
no, I thought he was on the Cape for some reason.
Oh, somewhere in the Cape, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm confusing this with somebody else. Yeah, it's somewhere in the Cape, but he closed business.
And I mean, how many you gonna want at a time? Is it gonna be something when all of a sudden one new house gets selected that we need one sign?
yeah, see, it's a program where, and the owners actually are buying the sign, you know, for their houses. So they put in the paperwork for their house and then, you know, we order the sign, so it's been one at a time. But we have like two that are waiting, right? Yeah.
25.
Well, two and then whatever we do, right?
2 houses in Chase Street,
Yeah,
Paul Leonard's house,
yeah,
schoolhouse.
So I can't find the one that's in Warren, but this is from in Warren, Miami. In the Sunset Village. But I mean, all the ones around it look like that. But I mean, the one, I think the one that I can picture from Warren is more similar to ours in terms of like,
That doesn't look like it's routed in either.
and with you saying routed in how it can be easily touched up after. Easy enough that the homeowner can do, or would they have to take it somewhere and have them do?
No, they can do it.
yeah.
That's something that's kind of a good benefit there. That they wouldn't have to like, you know, go and bring it somewhere, bring it back here, or ask them to do this. It's almost like when we give it to them, and we give them that, not maintenance kit, but like maintenance tips.
How much more then would it cost to do that? That's the thing, like, is it a bigger, like a much bigger cost?
I haven't done all the costs yet. I'm thinking no,
Okay,
it's not, because if it was a bigger sign, I'd say yes, it would cost you a lot more, because the routers run slow. When we get into doing the vinyl or spray mask, the bigger the letter, the easier it is. That G with the stick, yeah, I grab the center.
yeah, I know, I have one at home. I can make this
Okay, cricket.
at home.
Yeah, so you've dealt with
Okay,
this before.
Mhm.
And that's why I wanted to see, you know, is it necessary to have it? Can we make this a little bit bigger?
You need all caps?
No, I mean, actually, the letter size.
Yeah, because basically what we did is we told the sign maker what we wanted on it. And then they did the design of it, and we just said, yeah, we liked it.
Right, it wasn't like we designed it or like,
You know, we didn't tell them font size and all
I guess what I'm
that.
getting at, is this the design you actually want to 100% want to stay with, or do you want to change the design a little bit?
probably tough considering we already have ones already out there.
I was gonna say, if somebody
consistency
has one
reasons.
like that and now all of a sudden change it, are they gonna say, well, You changed it, I want
Yeah, that's. what
this
I-
one versus that.
Thank you, that's what I was trying to find.
Well, that's Dorchester.
Well, that's what I was asking about.
You know,
How many other
it
houses in
says,
town,
the guy's name, and why do you
historical
do that?
houses,
You want, almost want, you want the name of the
already have
people.
signed?
Everything's
before?
something small, this is too many.
That's-
That has that.
Well,
No, no, I mean,
He's talking about other signs.
Oh, that we go.
No, I think that's.
how many historical houses in town altogether?
Oh my gosh, we,
That could potentially have it.
we have like over 200 that we've identified as historically, you know, so through our surveys and stuff. That doesn't mean all of those homeowners that come forward to put a sign on.
No, I understand
Yeah.
that, what I'm getting at is a lot of those houses, I believe, already have plaques on.
No, they have, but some of them had the old plaques, they did them in 1962. Are you thinking of the wooden ones?
Well, I'm just
Yeah,
trying to think the last time I saw a house like that.
yeah, I think like,
It was not by commission, though, but the commission,
yeah,
those are private plaques.
no, actually, the 1962, the historical commission did those plaques. They're like on your old house, your red house, the Allen Pitts house had one.
How about Helen Lane's, what's on that one? There is a sign on
There
that.
might be an old one on that one, because they did, you know, those were, theirs would have been,
And I think that one's square.
they're square and they were made out of wood.
They didn't weather well.
They didn't weather well, so there were quite a few that they did. They didn't weather well, so people took them down. I know there was one on the John Reed House where Rennie Starling lived on Pleasant Street, there was one there.
Do any of the town buildings have any yet?
No,
Because that, we could, if we were looking to change the design, that would almost be more okay if those were different, because it's the town buildings.
And the letters would be much bigger.
And we'd have, and we wanted those signs to, the physical sign to be bigger anyway on those.
yeah, we.
So that would almost be the
Yeah.
chance we would have to do something different, as opposed to a homeowner where maybe we could do a variation of that, but it can't look too similar.
Yeah, you want uniformity.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so what Paul's also saying is you would cut out like 4 at a time. Or,
Yeah, well, I'm also concerned about how many would do at a time, is how many are already out there before we
Yeah.
started this program, what do those look like? So if we're talking about, even if we were gonna change these totally, we would have a group house that were different, but we already have another group house.
Right, that's what you're saying. So
Yeah.
if you already have, if already, we have 4 out there that is that different anyway, what does it matter?
now I know like, we have the ones that they did in 1962, the brown wooden ones that didn't weather well, so those are out there. I know like, the Halfway Tavern, on one of the house on the across from your red house, the Brown Tavern, Halfway Tavern, they put their own sign up over their door, so
Yeah.
that's there. You know, so some people have done their own, you know, without us, and that's fine too.
Now, the other thing you talked about at the beginning, you said it was wood, it didn't weather well.
Yeah, yeah,
What about the design and look, if we could make it look like that?
No, you don't want to look like
it was
that.
ugly.
It was an ugly piece of wood, there's no paint on it, the letters were recessed, they were routed in,
Yeah,
and it said Allen Pitts, well, that my house said Allen Pitts House, and they put yellow paint inside, so it said Allen Pitts House in yellow. And it might have had a year,
Yeah.
or did it have a year, I don't know, might have had a year,
Yeah.
but they were ugly.
And they didn't weather well, and there were only made so many of them. But they weren't selling them, they gave them to the houses in 1962.
That's probably why they didn't, what were they, well, they're probably cheap. If
Well, they were, they were,
if they were just giving them, then
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't, didn't cost them anything, how much to do it.
So even if the signs are slightly different, I think it's okay, because we have some differences. People put their own historical signs up, like the one on the other, across the street from the Allen Pitts house. I don't think. I can't think of anyone else that had, I don't remember seeing that many.
the first meeting house on Elm Street had one on a pole,
On
remember?
a pole, yeah, yeah,
Again, didn't weather well,
Yeah.
and somebody probably burnt it.
yeah, there is a sign there still, so.
the other thought I have right now is if we made it so that it weathered well, if we could use PVC, there's a lot of different things we could use. Or you can put the automotive coating on it like this. It would last a lot longer. However, it'd be modern. Is it good to put a modern sign on a historical house? I don't know the technicalities of this. I'm just trying to,
Anytime.
So like the PVC, you wouldn't really be able to tell there was PVC.
no, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna have something nice and shiny like this,
Yeah,
it's gonna have an automotive finish on it. You're gonna know that wasn't around in the 1800s.
Right.
But if the font is like that, it's more of a classical, like Times New Roman font, and it looks
Antique.
right, right.
yeah.
Right. But as you, like, a year on these, I don't know what happened with
Two different, yeah, two different.
two of the fonts.
Yeah.
I mean, this almost looks like it, but obviously the year. So, you need a year to have the house is built.
Right.
Now, the name of the house, how's that determined? Is that the first person that built it, the person that owns it now?
No, first person.
Yeah, because we have some that say Mountain Hope Finishing Company.
Yeah, probably letting up
And you're right, exactly, yeah, because Vicky's house and the 2 on Chase Street would be the Mountain Hope Finishing Company.
Okay, so those would be the same.
Yeah,
So now, in terms of readability and to create more room on there, I personally don't see the need of having the Dayton, Massachusetts on the top. I like having the Dayton Historical Commission on the bottom because we're the ones that are issuing them, quote unquote. But do we really need the Dayton, Massachusetts on the top? And if we get rid of it, is that an obvious enough difference from the ones that are already out there? If we didn't hypothetically go through with that. I'm not saying I don't want it, but if it's for the purpose of making it, allowing for bigger font, and because think like some of the names are gonna be longer.
Now, what about the seal? Would you want the town seal on it?
No. He's not the designer.
No, just FYI, this design was actually based on the marker of Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Right.
It has Sandwich, Massachusetts, Sandwich
Yeah.
Historical Commission. I just
You just literally just
Yeah.
change the
I
words.
plagiarized it.
So they,
It's very good design.
so they're the ones that put the name of the town and
Yes.
say along with
And
that.
I think other towns also
A
have.
lot of time, they do have their.
And I think the town and Dayton Historical Commission, it kind of balances.
That's the only one that I was
That's
thinking
the
about too,
thing,
like
yeah, it
keeping
does
it,
balance
it
it
does,
out.
Yeah,
Because even if you put the seal, it still has that Massachusetts to seal.
Yeah, you don't want to see
No,
them.
because, yeah, you don't want to see them.
But if you went Dayton, Massachusetts, you need Dayton again? Or
that's,
Yep.
if it said Dayton, Massachusetts Historical Commission,
But this died in Kansas.
If you're saying, just put historical commission on the bottom and not Dayton.
oh, so
Yeah.
just keep the symmetry of the words on the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
But just changing the layout of it.
well, what I'm saying is, yeah, there's different Daytons, so this already says it's Dayton, Massachusetts.
Right,
This Dayton Historical Commission, that could be any Dayton, but it said Dayton, Massachusetts Historical Commission.
Oh, I see.
Do you need to repeat Dayton twice?
right, right.
Right.
I think that would be all right.
I mean,
I think so.
I'm not trying to persuade you
No.
one way or the other.
I think you gotta keep it, like something on the top, something on the bottom, but if you were to get rid of anything, you should.
Well, it's just, it was just like, yeah, we
I
spent.
think what's gonna happen too, as the house names get longer, like Mount Hope Finishing Company, that look different than like yours and Eugene Rose House or yours, Henry Bones, or no, which one was? Joe Pitts, no, Joe Perry,
Joe Perry soup.
yeah,
But it didn't feel like even John Hathaway.
right,
Like, that's short first name, but a long last name. That's already living longer than what's on there now.
yeah,
Right, and you gotta have a plaque big enough for the biggest thing. Because if you have a plaque for one of the medium-sized things, you also get a long one, then you gotta switch it in to fit within the size of this.
so that's where.
Every name's gonna fit on the same
The
side.
font is gonna become smaller as the names of the houses get bigger,
But the size of the sign won't change.
but the sign won't change.
Right. Well, we could always keep the height the same and just make the letters thinner.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So,
And like less space, like, there's almost like less space between the letters on the bottom sign and the top one.
right, exactly. There's two different ways to do it. When I type it in there, I can move it and move just the spacing between all of them,
Right.
or just grab them all and bring it in, and then it'll make each one individual. Also, a lot of times when you pull it, you do both. So you might have to make the letters a little bit smaller and space them in a little bit.
so when you do that and then you say we have them routed in so that they're painted, so they last longer. You would still be able to do that, but pull them in and out.
So you pull-
Your letters, would you be able to make them closer?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, because I just send a file.
okay.
I don't
okay.
have it around myself.
Yeah, so you just send the file to the guy who does it.
Yeah. And, but it sounds like you want to keep this basically.
Yeah, I think he can
As close as
basically,
possible.
yeah,
All right, let me find out, first thing I want to find out if it is possible to route this small.
okay,
Secondly, we might be able to do them with laser.
mhm,
The laser can get pretty small detail. And then if you want the last one time, we just put it on a little click over.
mhm.
What size, have you determined what size sign what size physical sign you want the town buildings to be versus the homes?
We had talked about, making them bigger, but that drives the price up, so we're gonna keep the
But didn't
prices.
we say we wanted them to be the same? Can you
Yeah.
look in some old minutes?
Yeah.
We did discuss this, we didn't want them to be bigger.
Yeah, I think keep them the same, I think so that.
Because it looks.
The uniformity, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
This could be bigger though.
That's how, that's how
The
you
print.
easily could.
The print could have been much
Size,
bigger.
not the
What,
size.
in the building?
The print could have been closer to this.
Right.
It could
than-
easily, that could easily fit there.
Yeah, but what's gonna happen
What we're
is.
saying is this.
Yeah.
The font
So
size.
that's-
Wasted space.
Right.
But what's gonna happen is the font size on the names of the buildings themselves is gonna change depending on
Yeah.
how.
Um,
Because if it's the Cobb House, that's gonna be a lot smaller than the Dayton Townhouse, or Eugene Rose House, or Mount Hope Finish
Right.
Company, so that center part is going to fluctuate depending on the name.
So the shorter than the more visible it's gonna be from the street.
Right.
Stands out.
Well, yes and no. If we size the font to the largest name we have,
Mhm.
and then keep that font size no matter what it is.
Hmm.
Some of them will have more space here,
Right,
but you won't see one sign that instead of having an inch and a half one, that has a 2-inch level.
right,
That'll really be noticeable,
that's a good point.
that's different.
Mhm. Rafa, when we did Vicky's house for the Mount Hope Finishing Company, did we spell out Mount?
No,
Did we spell out company?
Empty,
I would try to bring it as much as possible.
Yeah,
probably not. Just, I think Mount Hope first line finishing and it's CO.
but like MOUNT or
Yeah.
MT?
It's MT.
Yeah.
I think I have a picture of it.
Oh,
Maybe not.
The most important is it looks good. Okay.
Yeah, but you must have a picture of it,
I have a picture somewhere.
yeah, so I mean, if you could send that to Paul, just so you could see how that looks.
Okay.
Cause
I'll
that's
just drive around
probably
our
the
house and take a
longest,
yeah,
but I think so we're in agreement, we keep it
this size.
the size. Let's see if we can get everything on, you had a couple of suggestions, either routing or
Yes.
laser.
If we don't go with them routed, I like to go with something that I can buy that's already in solar shape. Because if I gotta sit there and try it with a jigsaw on every one of them, it's gonna be more expensive.
Mhm.
Right.
I just thought another thing I've been doing on this, so using the PVC. I can get a template like this.
Mhm.
I can actually use this as a template. And a flush cut around. Through the lens, run right around, and it would give me that exact same cut.
It will be easy enough for you to match the font that we have on the one that's already existing.
Pretty much, Lisa, that looks like New Times Roman, They're not exactly the same.
No, they're not, this is the Caramon.
I like the one on off, I like the one on yours more personally.
Yeah, I do too. What was that called, Veronica?
Garamond, G-A-R-A-N.
That's this one here. I like the ones that are wide as possible, because they're easy to work with.
So do I.
I didn't like the format of the year on yours, how like the two numbers are kind of like.
Yeah.
Oh, the one here, yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose it's the
Like,
one,
yeah, it's more old fashioned looking at.
or European.
And if you keep that style of classic, quote unquote, classic font, no matter how new the sign looks, the more classic the font, it won't matter.
Mhm.
How much time do we have?
How much time for this meeting?
No.
Do it now.
Maybe do some research and get back to you. You guys meet once a month?
Yeah, we meet once a month, so
I
we're,
mean, I can get back to you sooner than that.
Second Tuesday.
yeah, second Tuesday of every month, so, I don't know if you were not, Raph is in charge of this project,
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, you can go, yeah.
So I think this is half inch, and I do have some half inch, PVC. That I think probably would work best. And if we do it like this, we'll try cut and see how
Okay,
that comes out. And then clay coat. That way it'll give you exactly what you want.
okay. And then you have an idea of a price for us too at that point?
Yes.
Okay, okay,
I mean, I don't see it being any more than what you're talking about, probably a lot less.
okay.
I just don't want to quote price right now until I
Right, yeah,
figure out and come up with a sample. Why don't you get my email, send me an email of the longest name.
Your regular email, right? Not the town.
Yeah, send it to my graphics.
I almost think that like when we're talking about cost, like, I think when I heard the cost of what it was, that seemed reasonable. But then when I saw the quality of the work
This
for
was
the,
not working.
the quality of the work for the cost that we paid was like, that's what we paid that much
How much do you
for.
think this is worth?
I think if we were to, someone who's relatively craft savvy went to Michael's and bought that stuff, would easily do that with $50.
Yes.
I could have done it.
Because of how cheap, like, if you,
So
of how,
good.
of the lettering, like, the paint, it's like. I mean,
The color is not even,
I don't wanna say I could have done it, but,
That's too late.
Yeah, but
so when you think about what you paid for, it's only, if you keep paying that much, but get a better quality, it wasn't like we paid outrageous amount of money for it, it's, we paid it.
but still, it was not what we asked.
That's right, so if you paid that much, that's how much we're going forward, but it was at least something of quality that is a little more understandable, opposed to like, if we kept paying that much for that quality,
Mm.
that's.
to get back to what you said about Michael's, I looked online to see what they had in inventory. They do have a couple of ovals, they weren't in stock. And everything, no, a couple of things. They don't, I don't know if they have this exact size in, at Michael's.
Mhm.
They only offer a few different sizes.
Yeah.
If we start doing them, I agree with this, should like it up. I think they're like $15 and they're blank.
Mhm.
And then all you need to do is do the lettering and then clear it, be done. However, if we get 6 months down the road and Michael's don't offer them anymore.
Right.
Because I.
Right.
Now,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, Amazon. Sorry.
no. Well,
Just
that's
teasing.
why, that's why I said if we use one of these. Pretty close, right?
Close.
close enough, I mean, you wouldn't even do it.
Now, what was the difference in the color? Why didn't you get the color like what we had?
Because then have this color available.
And also, that's just one, a couple, one, maybe two coats of paint, there's nothing, like, it's almost like the, where finishing is on Raffles, makes it look a little bit darker and shiny, that's just paint on wood. That's it,
Yeah, I know, my picnic tables.
like, if you turn it over, you can see. Like, you can see the marks where it wasn't even painted all the way.
Right.
Tacky.
And the market, yeah.
But at least we
This is
with
burgundy,
this,
this is crab apple. That's the closest they can have.
Oh, really?
They're all color palettes, like
Color.
where's burgundy?
So when you get that sign made, like, that's the quote unquote name of that color shade, which was crab apple.
Crab apple, yeah, the chocolate shade,
What type of paint?
I don't know. Why is Stuart, I don't know.
The always have gator.
Maybe more.
If you brought this to Lowe's or Home Depot and said, I want to paint that color, they'll read it with a scope.
Right,
And
right.
formula, and you have that.
they're,
You would get
Yeah,
awesome.
You could like even go look at, take some
Yeah.
paint off your wall and bring it to them. and
Oh,
they
yeah,
can have it.
right,
It's
Yeah.
amazing how they do it.
Yeah,
And
DNS.
Pretty much.
yeah.
if you're talking about motor paints, then, you know, all kinds that have, if you're talking like one shot as a sign paint, they only might have a couple of maroons. They might not have, so that's why you have the cellar, because they're using that.
Did you get something close to that one that we have?
Yeah, this is what you want.
Mhm.
I assume so.
Yeah, the darker. All right, so if you and Rafa work together and, you know, get us a sample, you know,
Yeah. I'll
I
get the
made-
sample.
what's it made?
May 14th is the next regular meeting, according to the agenda.
Right. Yeah, we'll take a look at it and maybe an estimate for us and.
I won't be here,
You won't be here?
I'll be in Boston, they made it.
Oh, excuse us.
Oh, no.
There's
There's one thing not on Zoom.
Okay then, you'll be here.
But done with
I had something drunk.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but look at you, look how small. Dots over the eyes.
Yeah, they're teeny
Oh.
tiny, yeah.
That took some
Yeah.
work.
That's what I'm saying.
that took creativity.
Well, patience.
So this is actually, yeah, that is, what is legible, I mean, the dots are legible.
It's so small.
It's so small.
My transfer tape does that, yeah.
Shower will come and help you out, Paul.
I'll cut it.
Killing me.
If Paul just cuts it all done.
Yeah, I'll cut it.
There you go.
The problem is when you get small, all of the cutters.
Yeah.
I have one with a tangential cutter, which is very rare. I don't use it other. That has the motor as it's making the blade actually turns to make it level. Most of the blades, they have an offset. And like the front wheel and shower cars, no matter which way you push it, it's a dragger.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of an offset.
Mhm.
So when you get down to like that little piece there,
Yeah, right.
and then you find that
The
you
more fun you get it, yeah.
get it. Where it was, let's say, that's what it's.
Mhm. Well, I think you can do a good job on the signs out front.
I love those. Those are awesome.
You're like, they're way bigger, they're.
That's what gave me the idea.
Did you
That's
decide
what it
this?
is.
Yeah.
What did you pick the color?
I didn't pick it.
Isn't that the town flag color?
We had,
Well, it's a close-ish to that.
every seal we have is different.
Right, right, but we decided finally on.
Right, and I actually did one, that's supposed to be standard.
Yeah.
But it's still not standard.
No, I know, because people do whatever they want, right, Shara?
Yes, they do, now I have a form. No, you can only use this or not.
You have a color seal, right?
All right, so,
You know, another way that we can do, maybe we think do, we probably do this, is screen printing. If you make a screen, it's a lot easier, it's out of the night,
Yeah,
and then you just come down and screen to go, they paint it, dry, clay coat it.
idea.
All right, I think I know what you guys are looking for. I can get back and forth with you, and, I mean, I can make it to the next meeting, at least a bigger sample, to see, you can zoom in. How's that?
that sounds like a plan.
All right, you guys have any other questions?
No.
All right,
Great.
I'll leave this one with you for now. The exact color right now doesn't matter. we need to design how we're gonna make them, and after that, we can take any color we want.
Okay. Awesome.
Any more questions?
No,
Are you gonna do this too?
What's that?
Are you gonna leave this blank?
So yeah, I guess we kind of need to discuss, like, are we gonna have him redo it? The
Or
one,
are you just gonna have
Or just
them
have
clear
it?
coat it
Decide.
like that? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We're
Yeah, just
doing
like.
it. Clear coat.
the only thing is, to keep in mind, if that's gonna be one of the town buildings, do we want it to look like, I would almost say the lettering should match from what we already have. I would hate to have one that goes in our town buildings to look like,
Mhm.
That font.
Well,
especially if we're trying to match that font, you know what I mean? Because if he just makes that, shellax it, whatever, make it last longer, then that's the font that we're using on that one, but then that means, are we gonna use that same font when we do another town building, or any building for that matter? So like, I guess, do we,
I don't think people.
Or you can just peel this away and start.
I don't think people.
you honestly probably could, it's probably easy enough to peel that off, but even when Rafa gave it to me, I brought it home to show my dad, I felt like,
Unless you're really like kind of fetish with markers, then you probably, this one is better than this one right there.
I would,
Okay, you have a fetish with markers?
fetish.
I don't know if we shellac it and put it out.
Shellac, yeah,
Yeah, it'll be,
probably look better.
Yeah.
Change some shimmer.
so I'm gonna take this one here,
okay,
because I'm gonna use this as a sample.
Yeah.
You might get a little lip, way them out there. Like, it's a bit, it's gonna burn.
Yeah.
It'll run on that, and it'll cut anything underneath it flush. And that way there, it won't be that difficult to, I'll use this for one, and then I'll have template. And then the one you want, I can just put it on there, and
right.
circle around.
Okay.
And that's the easiest way to do it. Rather than come all out. What did I put with this one? People can read it, read more money.
Yeah. So, but.
It's all about money.
And the size of the earth, like, I just, it's like.
It's bigger than my door.
Yeah.
Actually, being a little bit bigger wouldn't even cost much, so much. Because you know, certainly it'd be easy to do it. Way more.
What are you talking, like an inch or so?
No, I would have to be, we'll say this.
All right,
I'm really thinking that we get a screen. I got a friend of mine, can't shop, and when I run by him, if he can do a screen for me, that we can just roll these out, put it down, they'll paint them, put it down, paint that, shellac them,
okay,
and be done.
all right.
And we'll just do it every 10 years.
And then another 50, so he'll say, what was that historical commission doing?
We can do this in time capsule.
There we go.
You know, as well.
How not to do it.
The mistakes we almost made.
All right, so we got a plan, Rafa, you'll be the contact for it,
Okay,
and you know, take a look at it in May, awesome.
all right, thank you very much.
All right, beautiful.
Have a good night.
Yes, you too. All right, moving on, next, we'll go back to the regular order and do the minutes of March 12th. Everyone had a chance to read them? Any changes? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes of March 12th, 2024 as submitted.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from March 12th, 2024 as submitted.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? All right, they're accepted. The minutes of March 28th, 2024. Everyone have a chance to read those?
Looks perfect.
Oh, thank you.
We don't miss it.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes of March 28th, 2024 as submitted.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from March 28th, 2024 as submitted.
Any discussion?
Second.
Oh, second, yeah. Second. Any discussion? All right, and we'll vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, okay, done. FY '24 balance and expenditures, we have the same as last month, we haven't had any expenditures, so our balance is $579.09. We still have our encumbered balance, which we can't use for anything else, of $260. FY '25 budget, Shara and I went to the finance committee and the board of selectmen meeting and I presented our budget for FY '25. It seemed okay, they didn't make any decisions about it, a couple of minor questions, but didn't know that. So that was easy.
How much were you asking?
1,400, we level funded, yeah. All right. Unfinished business, the time capsule. I put the time capsule on here because I went to the Somerset Public Library and let me see if I can do this. Gotta get my pictures.
My dad had a good idea, he said to have a pair of the solar eclipse glasses in the time.
Oh, yeah, we sure
I
that.
have a set pair.
Oh.
He said, make sure you sit with my idea. I said, yeah, I will.
Two of that.
He said, is that coming from the selectmen or my dad? How are we approaching this?
Now I have to share. Oh, it clicked me all out. This is. Wait a minute.
Do you just hit share screen?
Mouse.
Right.
I'll use the mouse.
I hate using trackpad.
Yeah, but I gotta get mine to share. See, technology at its best. I know it's not working, so close them all out. That's the Zoom meeting.
Because right now, your screen right there, you're looking at it from the point of view from the historical commission. I have to
Okay,
change that to you.
I have to change that to me. Oh, it was there before.
Because right now, it's almost as if your packet is on your computer watching the historical. commission.
Yeah.
You want to switch it so it's the other way around. I had to share screen on Teams. I don't know how to do it.
This is the historical commission. I wanted to see how to get it. The town of Somerset, they have, and you would see it, and pass it around. I also have it on my phone, might be easier. They had time capsules. I went in to ask them for something about something else. And they had these wooden time capsules. I'll pass that around.
Did you click share screen? If I mouse. Like, not like touching that mouse. So
That's that.
click that. Okay. There you go. Now,
Yeah, it's like a stand. It's like conference.
there you go. It shares screen.
Okay.
So now you're picking what you're sharing. Are you gonna share it from your phone? Are you sharing
90?
that Word document?
Yeah.
All right, I got pictures on
It's kind of
my,
almost like that, right?
So that's the agenda.
Go to advanced. So before on basic, you were picking to share an item, like I want to share just a Word document. Now you can pick, do you want to share the portion of the screen? Do you want to share? I would say click on that. Hit share.
I'm looking at this.
There you go. So now that yellow box is what you're sharing. Now, you might have to click and drag that, 'cause unless you hit the share complete screen, so you have to move that window around. So you can now, see how that went up?
Yeah, that is kind of, is that, it does look like it.
Alright, so this is the outside of
There
the
it is.
castle.
Oh,
With the plaque
27.6.
on it.
That's close to 20.
So this is the one in Somerset. So then I can go, now I can do, that away, and I can click on this one. Hold on.
Mouse might be easy.
And this- So this is what it looks like.
Looks like a box.
It's a box, it has a top here, and it's a tall, container, and it's made of wood.
And nothing's visible, so it's not like the one at the Somerset Commission where you can see inside.
We don't want that.
So you could use something like the podium.
Yeah,
And just
yeah,
stuff your crap in there
Right.
and seal it up.
Right,
Right.
right.
so when I go,
Stuff your crap in there and seal it up.
With wheels underneath?
no, you take
This is wood,
there's this wood, and it's in a temperature controlled room.
ours is mobile, so I'm getting away.
Where is it?
It says, this is at the
Somerset
Somerset.
Library.
It's not the one you and I saw at the commission. This, we,
This is at the library. This is at
Oh, not
the
the
library.
society, okay.
Right.
it's the same time, but it's
It's at the
at the
library,
library.
so it has, there's the bottom. There's the bottom, and it stands on a shelf. And that's the top, that top piece comes off. I can go, when I go again, I can measure them.
I was just there, where are they?
So when did
They're
this,
in the local history room,
Which is,
Oh, I've
there's
seen it
reference
before.
area.
I was at the reference area.
That's Mary Beth Bingo.
All right, she was sitting there.
I didn't know they had a history in there.
Yeah, it's like a reference, local history reference room, it has all kinds of genealogy stuff, it's
So
really.
the room on the right,
Yeah, there.
in the corner, yeah, okay.
Okay. So I thought that was kind of cool, and they're, they got their plaques on them. They had two of them.
Oh, I was gonna
so how
say.
did you know about this?
I asked Mary Beth, for her husband's phone number for you, and I said, be in touch with them about the time capsule they had at the Somerset Historical Society. She says, oh, we have some here at the library. And she told me. So we went and checked it out.
Who knew?
Who knew? That's right.
They did.
So, I think it's, that's something that we can consider, we can have,
It's definitely a lot, it's totally doable.
right,
Yeah, that, yeah.
and I think it's a better fit into the library too.
And as opposed to, as much as like the novelty of the one at the historic commission is cool, you'd be limited to like what size it is, like, hey, this is the armoire we found and that's what we're using.
Yeah.
As opposed to we can do any kind of size.
See, my only concern with wood is that it can, fire can destroy it anytime. So it has to be something like
That's
really
true.
metallic
True.
or iron, bit of iron, like a cast iron.
So you could,
You know what I mean?
It's like a coffin.
Coffin,
yeah,
gold.
I didn't think about it.
that's the point, I mean, honestly, they're not concerned about that.
Obviously not. So why do we bother using it as a model?
I want
No offense.
That needs to be quoted, that needs to be quoted in the minutes, along with this meeting, absolutely.
I think the size of it is perfect, and we'll figure it out,
Definitely.
and I think if you put a,
It looks like
A
there's
lead lighter,
There looks like a window next to it, so it probably isn't much bigger than the podium.
no, it's not, it's smaller.
Well, you don't wanna know what's in it, like
Yeah.
because you want it to be a surprise when they open it, right? You don't wanna just show what's in it. So like, it's not gonna be like that.
No, I meant, it's saying next to a window for the size. I'm not saying put a window on it, when we're trying to think of what size it is.
I was thinking
Like,
this.
I don't wanna know what's in it, I'm like, I didn't say I did.
I was like, what are you gonna do?
it's next to a window, that's how you know how big it is in
I think that's a
comparison.
great example.
Well, you're obviously outvoted, so.
I can barely put a window.
Yeah, well, I think the size is good. Sorry. Okay, moving on. So that's how you put for the time capsule.
It's good to know you can have one.
Right.
It is.
I'll ask what's inside too.
It's like, why do they have a window on yours?
Or do they actually list the items and put that somewhere?
It was,
Well, that's
it was
what goes
probably listed by somebody suffering from dementia, so they forgot.
Whoa.
Oh, I will ask
Fresh.
again. I will ask for more
Please.
details. Boy, tough crowd.
Yeah, this is a tough crowd tonight.
That's our job, this.
I know, right?
Phew. All right.
We're here too.
Preserving memories of Dayton. So Zach did send me the release form again. The problem is, Mike, you haven't heard from Mike again, right?
No, I'm hoping that now the election side now, and
I will send,
before when he had it was right during the whole police chief
okay,
business, and then once I brought it up again, it was right during the election, so I was hoping that, well, maybe now that that's died down.
I will send it to Mike again. And I'll send it to Leanne too.
I don't think I mentioned it in the email, but we did vote on it.
Yeah, we approved it.
Yeah,
Pending his approval.
and I was hoping Dave was here, but I haven't heard from him if the studio is ready, but
Yeah,
I was hoping he's gonna be here tonight, I could ask him. Cause so like next week is school vacation week, so I'm not subbing.
I think it
So if
is.
it is the time, no, I can just go down there.
I think, yeah, but I think that it is ready because, Dan mentioned that Paul Reynolds is gonna do a business spotlight.
So if I go down there and test it out with him while I'm there, I can pop into Mike's office and do. I know the studio's ready.
So
Can you just
you
do this so I can, you just approve this so we can keep going?
We'll get it done, so. The walking tour pamphlet of Dayton's, of the National Register District. So I got some pictures from Bob Bedard at the yacht club. And,
That I did email you the draft that I had.
yeah, I saw that. Now let's see, I can do this. He sent me 2 pictures. This one. I don't think I asked for some historical ones,
My other problem with that one is that if we're doing the walking tour, they can see what it looks like now.
yeah, I mean, it was this,
Like a,
unless we
Good
just
stuff.
crop it completely and just do
Oh,
us.
But I mean, at that point, should we just put one of the old postcards of the yacht? I know it's not.
It's not the,
It's
I guess you could.
Because on the brochure that it's the site of the shipyard / Taunton Yacht Club is what it's listed as. So
yeah,
therefore,
where this is, this was the farm and the Whitmarsh Wharf. So where the old yacht club was actually down further, I think it was
Yeah.
closer near the bank, where the Bank Rock Park was. You could say, this does say it was incorporated in 1895, so it is still in essence, the Taunton Yacht Club. We could say, we could put the older buildings and identify it as the yacht club in whatever year it was that was destroyed by the storm.
right.
You do it that way,
I think that's better than that.
okay.
Before we're talking about doing the before and after pictures, like, well, we don't need to see it after, on the tour, let's see what it looks like now.
Yeah.
It's the old pictures you work on and not how it looks
Yeah.
now, that's the whole point of the tour is to
Right.
see it now.
So, and then I got, he sent me a picture of the wharf too. And,
And any old pictures of the wharfs that I see are not of that wharf.
And the wolf looked just like the Wow.
oh, wow.
so.
That's an example, that's what the wharf looks like.
So it's in modern, look at the water, how high the water is.
Yeah.
Cause I've walked out on those wharfs.
And I,
Not that day you did.
I mean, the only cool thing about that picture is that you're seeing it from that point of view,
Yeah,
which you can't,
exactly.
which you can't see unless you're on a boat or across the river,
Right.
or from the bridge. Well, I guess not. the bridge.
So we'll go with the picture of the older one, I'll find one.
Yes.
I have.
Okay. And I'll let them know that that's what we decided, we'll just make sure that it's written up so that people know this is not the spot.
I can put like a caption under the name, just,
Yeah.
a footnote kind of thing.
Okay.
Do we have a date? Yeah, for the walking tour, do we set one?
No, we haven't set one yet. Charity, you put the grant in with Paul, let me get rid of this.
Yeah, we're just waiting to hear back.
So,
Oh, well, while we're on that topic for the brochure, can you, as a chair, write a request letter from her as clerk? So I can use the seal on the brochure.
I was gonna do that, wasn't
I had originally asked for it for the release, to put on the release form, if we thought we wanted it, but I think we should definitely put it on the brochure, but I would say it should probably come from, and then if you want it, do you email like a certain format of the seal? Like digitally, or do I just go on Google and find one?
No, I'll email it to you.
Okay, so if you wanna, once you get it formally requested, if you wanna email it to me, I'll put it on.
Okay.
Or email the package for it, either one.
Does it to be open in 2078?
6.
2017,
We thought it was like-
because it was under the bicentennial, so it was done in 1976.
it? Right now, I'm trying to get rid of this. Oh, it was this one, oh, here. There we go, okay. All right, so we want to put the town seal, is there room on it for the town seal?
Oh, fine.
Okay, so Cheryl, I'll write you a letter requesting that we use it with the brochure.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'll probably put it on the, even on the back where we had it, so this is upcoming event or something, but there's definitely. I need some kind of space filler for like the side, either the front or the back where we weren't gonna have any information related to the tour on, so
Yeah.
I was thinking just.
And then we'll have the disclaimer too that it's private property.
Yep.
Yep, okay. You wanna talk about the grant that you and Paul put together?
So, Bay Coast, had, talked to Paul, and they said that they'd be willing to, give us, some type of, money. They weren't quite sure yet, so we requested, through Bay Coast. And one of the questions that they did ask though, is that if they do give us any grant money, is if we could like maybe say a thank you to them, of course. But we're hoping for, I think it was 300 that we could request. And we should hopefully hear back by, May, I think at the very beginning of May. So, because we were hoping to get them at least, the money by, the end of May, beginning of June.
For what? Is anything down?
Yeah.
Cool.
I know he did put something in there just to kind of like put a placeholder, like the Strawberry Festival or something like that, you know what I mean? Just to kind of say like, oh,
But then,
by that time frame.
oh, so we can use that money for whatever we
Yeah.
want.
So we don't have to report that.
Do you want to put that money toward the brochure and then you have another
That's
space
what we were
filler
thinking,
by
yeah.
putting name of the
Yeah.
bank on the back and say,
Good
come to consult for
Yeah.
courtesy of.
That would be actually a good idea.
Very good.
Yeah.
There's Bay Coast.
Bay Coast, yeah, so once we find out, we'll definitely,
Also, like a thank you sponsor kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sponsored by.
Sponsored by, yeah.
Perfect.
Excellent, okay, great,
Cool.
awesome. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
Thank Paul too.
oh my gosh, she was amazing, because we were like, Pat and I couldn't get any further.
Yeah, because Trevor and I tried to get in to do it and it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work, yeah, it was just having to do with, the tax ID and all that, and so, but he got it all taken care of.
Is grant something that this board has done before in the past?
We haven't done the Bay Coast grant, we did grants, the survey and planning grant.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, But this one, I would like to take one other thing out of order. I want to take the correspondence out of order, so we can talk about that now.
I'll make a motion that we take agenda item 10 correspondence out of order.
So this afternoon, I sent you all.
Second.
Second. Yeah, good quick, Irene.
So I figured I have this one hit me under the table.
So I sent you the letter from the Mass Historical Commission about Mount Hope.
Yeah, that's
I was so excited when I saw
Thank
that.
you.
I have to look at my emails today.
So we are eligible, Mount Hope is eligible under criteria A and C.
They said no, I was like, what the heck do we have to do
I
that?
know.
Yeah, but that's
So
exciting.
it is, because criterion A is associated with, the properties associated with events, meaning, historical context in the town. You know, and they give some examples, so we fit there. It's documented through measures of historical or archaeological research to what existed at the time of the event, so we know Mount Hope was there. You know, this area was there, well, it was the Mount Hope Finishing Company. And also under criterion C, which is more of the architects and, characteristics of type, period, and method of construction. And possibly, because it's connected with Olmsted Brothers Landscaping Firm, that it would also be eligible under criterion C because of that connection.
That's huge.
So there were a couple of things that need further research before we start any kind of process. That's what's so. One was they need further research to determine the full extent of the existing properties that may have been owned by Mount Hope, and making sure that we have all associated properties that were owned by Mount Hope, because some of those houses were moved. They could be demolished at this point, we don't know, so, you know, or we don't know which ones were moved, so that's some further research that they would need. I say congratulations to us.
Yes.
Now to move on, I was kind of thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know what to do next. I was thinking of reaching out to Van Haley and saying, do we hire a consultant to work on, you know, the further research? Is there forms for it? Do we start like a preliminary form, you know? I guess the kind of things that will come.
Is that where Stacy could be in the play?
I hope we, you know, could hire Stacy to do more in-depth on.
I mean, at the last working session, we were kind of talking about when and how we would do one there, and we hadn't really decided anything specifically. But I think this, if we had known this going into that working session, I think we would have probably decided then, but we didn't know this yet.
Right.
But I think now that we know this, I think that's the aspect.
So would we like Stacy to come by Zoom for our May meeting to talk to us about about next
And
steps?
she's already done.
And especially if we know that ahead of time, we can tell her, so like, it's not like we're telling her the day before and she coming in warm, at least if we tell her. Like,
I would think she's, you know, she's already.
Already aware of it.
What she's invested in, you know,
Yeah.
and
She's already been exposed to it, it's not like we're gonna get something brand new being like, can you find this out for us, like she already has done along with it.
right, and she can also give us guidance as to what the next steps would be with this. And the other thing that they did say was that once we have identified all of the homes, then we do the public outreach.
Oh,
To all of the
okay.
property owners and stuff. But I think we should announce this anyway, maybe go to the selectmen's meeting and announce that. Yeah, 2 areas that have been eligible, you know, just to toot our own horn. Shall we invite Stacy? We'll probably have to pay her.
Well, I thought if it was Zoom, we didn't have to pay her.
Yeah.
I thought it was only the $75 just to
Yeah.
compensate for gas if you want her in person.
Even if we have to pay her, I think we can.
Yeah, but okay,
Because I don't know what to do next.
yeah, it's kind of, I feel like she's almost like our, I don't say liaison. but
Yeah, and,
Not the word to use, but like our like
right.
point person for this.
And I don't want this update to end up as the one that was completed in 2003. You know, make some efforts to get this, something done with it rather than,
Having a sick day.
all right. I shall invite her, I'll ask her about the cost, I'm sure because she was CC'd on this, so I'm sure she.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, she knows about it, okay. So our efforts on doing these surveys,
Hang on.
paying off, yeah.
Did we set the next working session meeting?
Yeah, okay, would you wait?
Oh.
It's not there yet, we're not there yet.
It's a lot of your minutes.
So next is the working committee for the survey. So we met on the 28th, y'all read the minutes, and the big discussion that we had was about, even though these areas are not architecturally, the integrity is diminished, the history of the people that lived and worked there is still important, and we still, honor that, and that's kind of, that led into a discussion about a database for the historical markers, because we have all of these houses, and just to put the two surveys together and any other surveys that are done, so it's all in one database, like, this is the house name, the street name, so that we can quickly identify it as a historical house, and not have to go searching through all the surveys. So Zach and Chad are gonna work on that database. We are gonna review the brick area form next in depth, and I'm sure we'll be talking about Mount Hope too, and the date is April 25th at 6 o'clock. That work? Okay, any questions? All right, our CPC application, I submitted it for funding for the 3,500 for the 10 properties in West Dayton. It was reviewed last night at their meeting and approved, and it will be on the town warrant for the annual town meeting. Cool. So that's done.
Okay, so we'll have to flood the town meeting. Yes.
Yes, no being on Martha's Vineyard in June.
Yeah. And there's people with keyboard warriors saying, yeah, let's say this and they never show up. Let's offer them a ride. So they can vote.
There you go.
Oh, very.
All right, so, under new business, Simon Schreier reached out again, he's the regional interpretive coordinator for DCR, working at the signage for Sweet Knolls. He asked for one representative from the Dayton Historical Commission to be on the team for the ongoing process of developing the interpretive materials. Rafa and I attended the initial meeting. Rafa is interested in continuing as the representative. Is there anyone else who would be interested?
When is it?
Oh, we don't, it's gonna be ongoing,
Okay.
and they just want one representative.
Have at it.
All you.
All right, can I have a motion to,
I just want to see a little turtle.
I know.
Oh, go ahead, name them by name.
Miss Turtle.
There we go.
Yes.
Yes, turtle.
Yes.
It was a turtle.
Yes.
Was that supposed to be in the minutes, the turtle thing?
Yeah.
I think it was.
I think it was.
Yeah.
All right, so, Ed, all right, can I have a motion to nominate Rafa as our representative, to name Rafa as our representative to the DCR team for interpretive materials for Sweet Knolls?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, let's vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, that passes. Thank you, Rafa. So I'll let Simon know and he'll set, be setting that all up. So next our reports. The CPC, as I said, met last night. We worked on the housekeeping articles. It's all the funding things for the different areas. Our funding for FY 25 is an estimate of 13,800 to be added to the historical resources. Besides our request for 3,500, the Trails Committee project for Broad Cove Nature Trail was approved for $62,500, and that's gonna be placed on the warrant for the annual town meeting. And that's the beginning, it's phase one of developing a major trail and a boardwalk. One that goes out of, off of 138. The library building committee met yesterday too, and progress is happening inside the building. Right now, they're waiting on architect and project manager scopes of construction design plans. And Mark is beginning to order fixtures and furniture for it. So it's coming along. The stair design, I did a little research on that. So it will be related to the picture of the hall in the 1912 bicentennial book. It'll kind of repeat that banister pattern. So that it kind of goes in, because in 1912, they didn't have to have railings on the stairs.
And what's the construction, were they wood?
There were no railings.
No.
Oh, the baluster?
No, the stairs, were they wood?
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's been a long.
Okay, wood can be slippery
I
when
don't know if it, yeah, I don't know.
cement can be slippery.
Yeah.
So for them to say, what does the historical commission recommend for a stair?
Oh, he meant I'm sorry, I wasn't clear, the railings kind of thing,
Oh, not the stairs
yeah,
themselves.
Yeah.
Because there's so much technology
Right.
and improved kind of things that make it, because you want people to be, sturdy.
Yeah, right,
Never mind the
right.
baluster, we know what we want.
We're not engineers.
Exactly, we're not. And we're making a sign now, we're gonna go to Michael's, we're gonna make our own sign. But with all the technology, you wanna get something that of course is safe for people and the
Right,
best
right.
construction.
I
So
wasn't clear on that, I guess.
I thought you wanted me to tell you what kind of stairs to put in, and I'm going, really? Whoa.
I thought the next process. But now,
So it would be a repeat of those railings.
and so now that we're obviously making that building, it wouldn't be a substantial change where it would be, no, you know how like, we were just talking about how when you make enhancements to buildings, it takes away from the historical aspect of it.
Yeah, but
It's
it
gonna-
has to be proposed.
So, right.
Yeah, so you have to put the railings up.
No, it doesn't, because they never did.
There was never.
Because people back then were healthy and strong.
Okay, the next meeting for the library building committee is April 29th. So that things are moving along quickly, which is good. And then, last night, I had 3 meetings yesterday. The 250th anniversary committee met. And we had a very good discussion about which direction we want to go, the statewide efforts to schedule the 250th. Our discussion included ideas around encampment and reenactments, the reading of the Declaration of Independence, an essay contest, listing of revolutionary soldiers, a walk along the Bristol Path, discussion with the Native Americans. We talked about a lot of different things. Things happening at Cowchip Festival, maybe Memorial Days. The committee members volunteered to each reach out to different civic groups so that we're kind of going to be all inclusive. We talked about a logo. If you look, the state actually has a Mass 250 logo, but like Concord has their Concord 250, Worcester has theirs. So we talked about Dayton having a Dayton 250, and I think we're going to ask the public relations, our town public relations people to design that real simple. None of them are too fancy. They do have a website for the Massachusetts, it's just up and running, and it's 250.ma, and that's where all the state stuff for the 250th anniversary will be on. And they will put, the other cities and towns have a calendar of events on there, so you'll be able to see what's going on all over the state. We also discussed, reaching out to people, and we probably would post on the commission's Facebook page and on the town website any of the activities or information. Our next meeting is May 13th at 6:30. It was a busy day yesterday.
Yeah. You love it though.
I do. Our next meeting is May 14th at 6:00.
Oh, I wrote a draft,
Oh, yeah,
yeah, to be sent to the owner, property owners living in the village, and I want everybody's opinion. We don't have to decide tonight, just you can take home the draft.
all right. So we can take this and review it and then.
Yeah, we do it, and we can talk
Okay.
about it. On Zoom.
Okay. Sure to add that. The Mass History Alliance Conference is June 3rd at the Devon's Conference Center. The theme is History is for everyone, and I think their early bird registration opens up next week. So
What are the topics, like where is that history for everyone?
I don't have their whole program out yet. I'll send you the link to the Mass History Alliance.
And it's just for that one day, right?
Yeah. Last year they had things more geared towards historical societies, you know, but then I think this might be a little bit, hopefully a little bit more. Not so geared to societies versus commission, it's
Oh,
more,
I see what you're
you know, it's
saying.
more history for everyone, you know, so.
Is that something like we can all, do we send one person, or can all go, like how does that work?
We have enough money, everyone.
I don't think I've been on the board since we've had any kind of conferences come up, so.
No, because we had talked about going to the one in Plymouth, but then they canceled
Canceled
it.
that.
Yeah, because that was a good one.
And there was one, I think when I first joined, that was gonna be virtually, and they canceled that one too.
Yeah, and then there was one in Providence in November.
Right, that, at the vet hall, right?
Yeah, so. Does anyone have anything else?
I have printed these, I'm sorry.
I didn't have to print new ones out because I figured you had.
I do.
So that's the work area, that's what we'll be talking about on the 25th. And I'm sure I'll put Mount Hope on the agenda too, so, because I'm sure we'll be chatting about that too. Okay. Is that it? We're good to go?
I'm sure Spencer did give, just a question. Anybody good buried in the Hathaway Cemetery? Is that included in the? Anybody of
Yeah,
significance in the town?
Yeah,
Buried in the
I don't-
Hathaway Cemetery?
yeah,
Somebody named Hathaway, obviously.
I don't know.
A couple of them.
It's, I have a listing of who's in there.
Well, the Hathaways were down the other end,
Right.
on William Street, so I just
Right.
assumed they'd be
I think
there.
there were some, yeah, that family's there, of course, Hathaway's.
And Garnett's house,
Right,
whose was that house before it was Garnett's?
I don't know,
Maybe Hathaway, yeah.
Yeah.
Just asking.
I could find out if they're listing it in the cemetery too. All right, if we're all set, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So, it's that.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not right.
Word for word.
Which is a good thing.